Hey guys, so welcome back to yet another episode of Get Corporate Ready. In this video, what I'll be touching on are 6 very basic things that make you look unprofessional, right? Some of these things are quite small and seem insignificant, but in the long run, they could damage your reputation. So stick with me as I take you through 6 top things that I think are so important for you to stop doing at work. Guys, welcome back. For those of you that are new to my channel, my name is Bohlale Paile, and I use this channel to share tips and tricks on how you can get corporate ready. Now, in this video, like I said, we'll be focusing on 6 things to stop doing at the office that make you seem unprofessional. The first thing that I think is so important for you to be mindful of and for you to stop doing at the office is spending a lot of time on social media. Now, guys, spending time scrolling through Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, going through videos that friends have sent you on WhatsApp and spending your time at the office doing that really makes you look unprofessional, right? You first of all come across as very unfocused. You're supposed to be there to be doing work. You're supposed to be there to be engaging with colleagues. And you're there for a purpose, guys, and that purpose is not to then be on your phone, right? So make sure that you are not spending a lot of time on social media during the time that you're there, because you want to always maintain a very positive perception of yourself, right? You don't want people thinking this person is so lazy, this person is just, they're not focused when they're at work, they probably missed out on what people have said in a meeting because they're busy scrolling on their phone. Never spend too much time on social media whilst you're at the office, guys. It's not a great look and it makes you look unprofessional. So the second thing that I think is so important for you to stop doing at the office is really being late, right? Being late for work, being late for meetings. So this has become something that has become difficult to do, particularly during online meetings, right? Because you have one meeting to another, one ends when the next one is starting. And inevitably, if someone is still wrapping up from the previous meeting, it runs over. And before you know it, you're 3 minutes, 5 minutes late. I struggle with this all the time. And so this is one thing that really, as you're coming up in your career, learn to be diligent around your time. Never pitch up late for work. But also, as you're doing meetings, try and ensure that when you are setting up the meeting particularly, that you're setting it up for just 25 minutes out of the 30, right? Try doing that. So that you still got a 5-minute buffer time to then start the next meeting on time. The next thing that you should definitely stop doing when you're at the workplace is gossiping or complaining. Now, guys, I've said this before in previous videos. Gossiping is not something you want to be known for at the office, because that really means that you are just a negative voice within the office space, right? By gossiping, whoever you're gossiping to is also thinking at the back of their minds, if they can gossip to me about someone else, they're probably gossiping about me to someone else, right? And what you end up actually doing is that people decide to then not be close to you because they don't want to engage in gossip. But secondly, they don't want to be the topic of gossip, right? So gossiping in the workplace, guys, is an absolute no-no. Don't be known for that in your workplace. But equally complaining, right? So if you're complaining, whether it's about your personal life or you're complaining about work, complaining really just makes you look like you are just disorganized, which means inevitably if things are falling apart in your personal life, it's going to trickle into your work life as well. So when you do speak about these things, it's really important for you to be mindful of the context which you are in, right? Work is not necessarily a place to be buddy-buddy. It's not a place to socialize and just make friends all over the place. I'm not saying don't make friends, but what I am saying is that keep personal, right? Don't bring personal life and start complaining about stuff at the workplace because it makes you look like you don't have stuff together. The fourth thing that really comes off unprofessional within the workplace is being the kind of person that interrupts their colleagues, right? Do not get into the habit of interrupting your coworkers just to get your point across. Make sure that you are applying a level of measure, right? That you are showing a level of emotional intelligence, that you can wait for someone to actually finish what it is they're saying before you say your piece. If you fear that you're going to forget what you're going to say, write it down, right? Have a notebook with you all the time at every meeting that you go to and actually write down stuff that you'd like to speak about, as opposed to you interrupting your coworkers. So make sure that you're not mistaken as someone that is not a team player, because that is not the type of perception that you want to build about yourself. So guys, the fifth thing that I think is so important for you to be mindful of do not drink too much at work events, right? So just because it's an open tab for the rest of the evening and you can have as much as you want, technically, you're still at a work event and you still need to come off professionally, right? So make sure you're not drinking too much at work events, because really the idea around work events is for you to be social with your colleagues, for you to have some downtime and engage with colleagues and get to know them on a more personal level, right? So just because there's drinks available doesn't mean that you just need to continuously be drinking the entire night, right? Because once you've had too much, you don't know how you are coming across to people, what people are observing of you. And trust me, you don't want to be the topic of discussion the next time you come into the office place. So always be cognizant that you have a positive reputation to uphold at the workplace. So know your limits when it comes to work events and ensure that you are not drinking excessively at work events and that you're keeping it social and you're maintaining a positive reputation. The last thing that you really need to make sure that you stop doing is pitching up dressed too casually for the workplace. Now, one thing that I've really realized having to transition from working from home and coming into the office is that people now started to pitch up at the office the way they would dress at home. So how you dress for online meetings is not the way that you dress when you come into the office. So always make sure that when you come into the office, you are dressed for the occasion, right? You always must be dressed professionally. If you've got a casual Friday does not mean track pants, khakis. It means being smart casual, right? Smart casual is as casual as it can get for the workplace. Outside of that, I always say overdress rather than underdress. Dress like a boss, you'll be taken seriously. If you're dressing like you really couldn't care about how you look at work, people really won't take you that seriously either. So guys, make sure that you dress for the occasion so that at all times you take in seriously and you always come across professional within a work setting. So guys, I hope those 6 tips were really helpful in just reminding you the things that you should stop doing at the office, things that you should be mindful of not doing at the office, and how these things can make you look unprofessional. So make sure that you're commenting below on which of the 6 tips have really been helpful for you. I'd love to hear your feedback about this. And I really hope that these 6 tips have really helped you so that you can show up in the office in a way that really makes you look like you're taking your career seriously.